Following on that theme as well, our next speaker, Rick Thigpen, is the Senior Vice President of Public Service Enterprise Group. Rick is one of only two speakers here today, who spoke at our conference a year ago. And Rick was so great last year, we had to have him back here again today. Rick is, again, Senior Vice President for Corporate Citizenship. He was named that in July 2018. He is also the chair of the PSE&G Foundation. He's responsible for areas of the business that drive public policy through advocacy, including federal, state, and local government affairs, sustainability, charitable activities, and corporate social responsibility. Rick is a member of PSE&G's senior executive team. He's also a board member of NJBIA, and I welcome Rick here today.
Good morning, everybody. Let's all say hello to Michelle. I assume she's watching. Hello, Michelle. So thank you, Ray. So for those of you who don't know who we are, Public Service is New Jersey's largest electric and gas utility, and we're a transmission owner in PJM, and we provide distribution service to 2.3 million electric customers and 1.9 million gas customers in a service area that covers approximately 2,600 square miles running diagonally across New Jersey from north of the George Washington Bridge to south of the Walt Whitman Bridge. We touch 14 counties, and more than 2 out of every 3 homes and businesses in the Garden State have one of our meters attached. PSE&G, our famous utility, reliably ranks among the top 10% of national utilities with over 50,000 customers, and for 20 years in a row, it has been named the most reliable Mid-Atlantic utility. We recently received the electric utility industry's highest honor in 2022, the Edison Award, in recognition of industry-leading efforts to protect communities and customers from extreme weather conditions. We serve one of the most densely populated and demographically diverse service territories in the entire country, which includes New Jersey's 6 largest cities and approximately 300 communities of all different types. This includes some of the wealthiest and some of the poorest communities in our country. Public Service has long recognized that climate change must not be ignored, and today the evidence of how it is impacting our state continues to grow. Our state's DEP's scientific report on climate change does an excellent job of laying out the scientific community's growing understanding of the trends and underlying causes of climate change and its impacts on New Jersey and the need to take action. Our DEP echoes the findings of the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. And DEP's report reminds us that, for better or for worse, New Jersey's on the leading edge of climate change. That climate change can be measured, and it is already happening in New Jersey. New Jersey is especially vulnerable to the impacts of the climate because of our coastal location and because we are one of the most densely populated states in the U.S. And because of our high level of urbanization, just makes temperature increases more hazardous for human health. Without steep reductions in greenhouse gas emissions, people and property in New Jersey will continue to experience significant adverse effects of climate change because sea levels are rising here at a greater rate than other parts of the country and the world. And as a result, flooding during periods of intense storms, which are happening more and more frequently, is getting worse. So it's fair to say we've been warned. Reduce our carbon emissions and implement adaptation measures or face increasingly severe consequences. As an energy company that is dedicated to making New Jersey a better place to live and to work, we are focused on the challenges climate change is posing to our business and to our state. We believe that this company called Public Service must fulfill its responsibilities to help New Jersey prepare to meet the energy policy challenges of the future. We continue to believe that this can be done in a way that is planned and purposeful, keeping energy affordable while creating greener jobs of the future and driving growth in our economy. PSE&G proudly continues to support New Jersey's transition to clean energy and Governor Murphy's goal of reaching 100% clean energy by 2050. During the past several years, PSE&G has moved decarbonization to the forefront of our business strategy. We have accelerated our net zero climate vision by 20 years, setting a goal of achieving net zero emissions in our operations by 2030, and to advocate for policies to further economy-wide decarbonization. And last October, we signed on to the UN-backed Race to Zero program, created to help the world achieve the goals of the Paris Climate Accords. The private sector program is called Business Ambition for 1.5 degrees Celsius, where we have committed to setting science-based targets which will give us a rigorous framework to guide our attempts to reduce emissions from our operations and, more significantly, from our customers. More on this later. By becoming a clean energy infrastructure company, we are positioned to play an important role in helping the state and our customers achieve their clean energy goals. At Public Service, we call our company vision Powering Progress, where we are helping to create a future in New Jersey where people use less energy, the energy they use is cleaner and safer, and is delivered more reliably than ever, our stock and trade. When we rolled out our Powering Progress vision, we aimed to address some of the biggest challenges communities around New Jersey are facing: climate change, affordability, enabling an electrified economy, providing universal access to the clean energy future, and playing our part to ensure all people in our state have an opportunity to thrive and to prosper. To achieve our Powering Progress vision, we are laser focused on several critical things, and I'm going to talk about just a few of them today. I'll start with decarbonizing the energy sector and the economy. Over the past decade, PSE&G has retired or sold over 10,000 megawatts of fossil fuel generation. Today, our power portfolio is among the top 10 producers of carbon-free energy in the entire country. We strongly believe that we need to continue to preserve existing nuclear, our state's #1 source of carbon-free power generation. While our nation ramps up the development of renewable energy and explores the possibilities of large-scale battery storage, preserving existing nuclear energy for the coming decades is critical to keep us from backsliding on our nation's emissions reductions achievements and to keep the transition to clean energy much more affordable. A recent report from Princeton notes that supporting continued operation of New Jersey's nuclear generation is consistently among the lowest cost options to achieve the state's Global Warming Response Act greenhouse gas emissions reduction goals, which are not as stringent, I should note, as the 1.5 degrees Celsius scenario requires. We are very excited that Congress has recently passed the Inflation Reduction Act, which includes a nuclear production tax credit designed to support the continued operation of the nation's existing nuclear fleet. The act will help secure a low-carbon future and enable us to meaningfully tackle climate change affordably. Congressman Bill Pascrell was the author of this language, which originated in the House Ways and Means Committee. Senator Booker was a Senate co-sponsor, and the role that Senator Menendez played as member of the Senate Finance Committee to move this legislation forward was absolutely critical. It marks a major contribution that New Jersey has made to national energy policy, and we should all thank them for this legislation that will remove much of the burden that has been carried by New Jersey ratepayers to ensure that our nuclear energy survives in a marketplace that has been dominated by fossil fuels. As the nuclear facility's gross revenues reach $25 a megawatt hour, the PTC starts to reduce. When gross revenues reach $43.75 a megawatt hour, which will be adjusted for inflation, the PTC is fully eliminated. The idea is that the higher the facility's gross revenue, less support is needed to make the facility viable to operate. The actual financial impacts of the federal nuclear PTC will need to be further clarified by the United States Treasury Department through regulatory guidance before we can be assured of real success. We look forward to working with regulators at Treasury and elected officials in the state of New Jersey to ensure that the final Treasury guidance on implementing the PTC is effective in helping to keep the carbon-free baseload power we generate at nuclear available. It will be virtually impossible for New Jersey and the U.S. to achieve any of these long-term carbon-free energy targets without these plants. Additionally, we are looking to align with the state of New Jersey regarding how the new PTC and the existing zero-emission credit state law can best work together to secure a long-term future for nuclear on terms that are fair to New Jersey's ratepayers. Much more to come on that topic. We also need to invest more in renewable generation. We may not be blessed with an abundance of sunshine, but we do have 130 miles of Atlantic coastline. We are supporting New Jersey's goal of developing what is now 11,000 megawatts of offshore wind generation. PSE&G is investing in offshore wind as a partner to the Danish offshore wind giant Ørsted on its ocean wind project off the coast of Cape May County, which will bring 1,100 megawatts of wind energy online in 2025. We additionally plan to continue to explore how we can enable this exciting new industry to grow in New Jersey, including building upon our agreement to host a New Jersey wind port on land adjacent to our nuclear facilities, which is now rapidly becoming a clean energy campus. New Jersey is already a national leader with regards to installed solar capacity, but more is required. We continue to believe that utility scale and community solar have important contributions to make as a low-cost strategy to help increase the production of electricity from solar energy and to help make solar available for all of us. The next item I will focus on is energy efficiency. With less than 5% of the world's population, Americans consume 17% of the world's energy and produce 14% of the global CO2 emissions. Americans consume nearly double the amount of energy per person as a resident of Japan, Germany, England, or France. We are energy hogs. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, Americans spend $100 billion every year on wasted energy from buildings, heating and cooling units, and more. And currently, residential and commercial buildings account for more than 1/3 of the carbon emissions America releases each year, while consuming 40% of the nation's energy and 75% of the electricity. Energy efficiency is critical as we move to electrify the economy. We will need to do so more efficiently to help manage the costs and to reduce the demand for more power to meet our growing electricity demands. According to the International Energy Administration, energy efficiency alone can achieve 40% of the emissions reductions required under the Paris Agreement. There are already over 2.1 million jobs in the energy sector. That's more jobs than there are in oil and gas already. It is also worth noting that in the Inflation Reduction Act and in the IIJA, enormous amounts of federal money are now going towards energy efficiency. We all know it is the cheapest way to reduce carbon, and we expect that industry to continue to grow and expand. In less than a full year, last year, Public Service launched the largest energy efficiency program in our history. 10 programs that give every customer options to reduce their energy consumption, save money, and shrink their carbon footprint. Residential customers can take advantage of discounts on energy efficiency equipment, products and services such as free home energy audits, as well as on-bill financing. For businesses, PSE&G provides solutions that include whole building energy retrofits. In less than a full year, participating customers saved $77 million on their annual bills and also saved over 368,000 megawatt hours of electricity, avoiding over 261,000 metric tons of CO2. And when we design energy efficiency or other clean energy programs, they are intended to reach every customer in our territory. We are careful with how we design and market our energy efficiency programs to ensure that we have programs to meet all customer demands and benefits and meet all of our customers' needs. This includes programs for homeowners and renters, single-family and multifamily, as well as low and moderate income individuals. It's important that all customers can participate in the clean energy future. This is a win-win-win scenario. The program is designed to cut carbon emissions by up to 8 million tons, help customers save on their monthly energy bills to the tune of an estimated $1 billion, while also creating more than 4,000 jobs, including a clean energy jobs program designed to create up to 2,000 jobs in low and middle income communities. And this program to date has generated 1,007 new jobs and counting. Additionally, we have achieved a 32% diversity spend on this program, and more than 100 minority, women, and veteran-owned business enterprises have become certified vendors via a program we have run in partnership with the African American and Hispanic Chambers of Commerce. The third item is continuing our focus on reliability and resiliency to meet the challenges of the future. As I said, our stock and trade. PSE&G has invested nearly $5 billion in infrastructure strengthening and modernization, including upgrades to 26 stations to offer greater protection from flooding, replacing almost 2,000 miles of aging gas lines and adding digital and other technologies that better protect customers' utility service in extreme weather. We've called that Energy Strong. And the proof is in the performance. PSE&G customers have, as a result, experienced fewer outages. If you're a PSE&G customer, you can expect your power to be on well over 99% of the time. Hurricane Ida in 2021 brought historic flooding to most of the utility service territory, including producing the single highest day of rainfall in recorded history in the city of Newark, causing over $75 billion in damages. Only 215,000 PSE&G customers lost power during Ida. And I compare that to the more than 2 million customers who suffered lengthy outages during Superstorm Sandy. Because more of us are working from home, the health of our economy increasingly requires residential reliability standards to be elevated like those in downtown commercial districts. We call this work the last mile, and it's over a $500 million four-year investment program to modernize our electric distribution system and improve reliability. These investments are designed to strengthen residential reliability and better prepare the grid for the future. PSE&G has a smart meter program that provides near real-time outage detection and enables us to dispatch restoration crews automatically, eliminating the need for customers to self-report, analyze a customer's energy usage and recommend adjustments to thermostat settings or appliance use in order to help save energy and money, work with small home assistants such as Amazon's Alexa to give customers the ability to manage their energy spending or reduce their household's carbon footprint. And we plan to convert all 2.3 million existing electric customers to smart meters by the end of 2024. Finally, I want to go back to the important challenge we have taken on called Business Ambition for 1.5. Business ambition is many things, with the main goal of driving long-term value for New Jersey and its customers by addressing climate risks and its challenges. Business ambition is about setting ambitious goals to decarbonize our scopes 1, 2, 3 in emissions, and that includes the emissions from using our products by our customers, and align what we do to the 1.5 degree temperature scenario, which was agreed to in the Paris Climate Accords as the best way to avoid the worst impacts of climate change that are beginning to stare us in the face. It's also about integrating climate strategy into how we operate as a company now and into the future. And most importantly, the climate journey is one we share with our customers and presents an opportunity for us to redefine the relationship with them to help them use less energy as we lay out in our Powering Progress vision. We will need to work together with all stakeholders to help facilitate this effort by looking at policy enablers, leveraging existing and creating new programs for our customers, and uniting on the task of protecting New Jersey by decarbonizing our economy without ever taking our eyes off the issue of affordability. Business ambition presents a tremendous opportunity to better understand the challenges of decarbonization and how to create green jobs at the same time. To close, the world is changing and public service is changing with it. Protecting New Jersey can allow us all to work together to find the best solutions. For the first time, really, from Wall Street all the way down to Main Street and more, and on a bipartisan basis, we are seeing growing interest in understanding the risks that flow from the change in the climate and the desire to adopt more sustainable and more inclusive strategies for a brighter future. For example, PSE&G has long been a standing partner to Sustainable Jersey, an organization which works to empower New Jersey's communities to pursue critical sustainability initiatives. Over 80% of the state's municipalities, without regard to partisan affiliations, now participate in their municipal certification program. We also see our investors paying more attention to sustainability issues like climate and diversity, equity, and inclusion. Finally, the successful passage of the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, as well as the Inflation Reduction Act, with the inclusion of Justice 40 language in legislation which is mandating that up to 40% of the benefits of some government programs must flow to disadvantaged communities, are altogether signs of a changing world. We need a talented and engaged and highly motivated workforce drawn from New Jersey's very diverse population to help us find the best innovative solutions to change with it. I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen to me, and I hope that I have left you with some thoughts about the vision of public service, about how we can help the state in the future. Thank you all very much.